Okay, hello all. I am here to demonstrate an illustration of the effects of toxic pollutants on you and your family and our precious planet. So, our precious planet, we have tons of animals, plants, rainforests. It's a really special planet. If you think about it, you know, the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, it's it's really sacred, and we are here to take care of her, of these species, of this earth. But right now we're doing the opposite, right? So if you can see in this diagram, currently we're not caring about the actions and decisions we make and what we do to animals, planets, water, a home. This is our home. And this is also about our karma, your salvation. Because what you do matters. It's all calculated in the universe. It's calculated by God. You can read the Bible. You can learn about Hinduism. All of this is calculated. It's like a karmic score that you get. So if you harm animals, if you harm people, if you harm the water, it goes against your karma score. And you can end up in really negative places. And so currently we have been governed by patriarchy, misogyny, egotism, greed, Satanism. That is why we have the world that we have right now. It's filled with corruption, politicians, democracy is not working, right? It's they're selling themselves to the petroleum industry, to the what they're doing to the cow industry, the factory farms that are evil, cruel, awful, terrible. The FDA isn't caring, the EPA isn't doing anything, the United Nations is not taking any actions. Children in Pakistan right now cannot go to school because the pollution from India, from the factories there that are making goods for people in America, the pollution is spreading to Pakistan, and so they can't go to school because it's so suffocating. So this is real, and butterflies are dying. You can read about that as well. I have many articles on Medium, on my website awakeningconsciousness.community. You can learn about how The Guardian has said that the Amazon is now emitting more carbon than emitting oxygen. So we're dying. The earth is dying. We are dying. And so that's why I wanted to create this illustration to show you what is happening. So if you don't care, if we don't care, if we're in this masculine patriarchy that doesn't really care about beauty, animals, plants, and species, they just care about their own egos and getting elected, then we will have a problem, right? So we need people who care. We need wisdom leaders. We need people who understand the circle of life. So the circle of life. So if you put pollutants like fertilizers and pesticides in food, then you're going to eat that. You're going to eat the chemicals. Does that make sense? No. Okay. So, and then you have these factory farms. They're putting steroids, antibiotics, and hormonal influences in animals, and then you eat that. And so that's in your body. Do you think that's healthy? No. Okay. So then we have the petroleum industry, and it's in the air and it's in the water. You can also read in my articles about acidity in the ocean. People are also putting trash in the ocean. It's kind of ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. So we really need a global effort to help people understand basically the stupidity of what we're doing. So the manure, the petroleum, all of these toxins, they can get in the air and the water. They get in the animals, in the earth, in our food. And then they get in us. They get in our bodies. They get in our brains, and they get in our children. They get in generations to come. So does that make sense? No. Okay? It's stupid. We're killing ourselves. So this leads to less nutrition, diseases, allergies. Some of you may know there's just allergies everywhere, right? I have an allergy to this, I have an allergy to that. GMOs are part of that as well. We have pathogens everywhere. We had COVID because the markets in a lot of these developing countries, they just, I'm living in Peru, and I've lived in Africa, and it's also in China. They just put these animals out in the air without any refrigeration. And so that's how we get STDs, we get COVID, we get all of these germs that travel through the air, through planes, through money, through everything. And so we could end up with really terrible diseases. We could end up with abnormalities in births, really sick children because of pollution. We could also, we're ruining the ozone layer, and so glaciers are melting, so cities are going underwater. Miami has this issue, Amsterdam is trying to create solutions. I'm thinking of Venice canals everywhere to try to help this issue. I mentioned another effect of this is children not being able to go to school because of pollution. And a huge problem is, so the consumption rates in America and Europe are extremely high because they're extremely wealthy, but all of the products are being made in Asia. So Asia is experiencing tons of pollution, tons of awful things, while Americans and Europeans might not be aware because the industries are in Asia, where all these pollutants are, and then we consume, or you consume, in America, in Europe, and you think everything's fine, when actually it's not. You're hurting the Asians who are producing these goods. So we need green technology. We need sensorial technologies, solar technologies, wind technologies. We need people who are really creative so that these products are made hopefully with zero carbon emissions, right? We might not be able to breathe oxygen, as I told you. The Amazon rainforest is dying. We're putting too many pollutants into the air. There's so many people who are being birthed. We need family planning practices, birth control awareness, because there's a lot of people are getting richer, and then there's just going to be more consumption, more pollution. So we need ratios of people and plants, and more ratios, right? So everything and everybody could die. So because of how stupid these practices are, right? Okay, so hopefully some people have gotten this. So this is the circle of life. The indigenous, a very different culture, like the Lakota Sioux. So I'm from South Dakota. I have indigenous blood in me, and they know about the proper way. It's about the animals, it's about the plants, because that's what we eat. So if we take care of them, we take care of we. So we need a totally new consciousness, organic, sustainable, green energies, green technologies. We need total differentials, right? We need leadership. We need wisdom leadership. We need people who get it, to help explain to those who are less educated what is happening. So if you have any comments, any questions, any insights, any solutions, please contact me, ashleyheacock@gmail.com. So yes, I'm from South Dakota. I went to the George Washington University. I studied international affairs and economics. I went to Harvard, Kennedy School, studied basically international affairs as well. I went to MIT, Sloan School of Management, studied economics there. And at Harvard, I studied evolution. I'm quite educated, right? But a lot of people are not. So anybody who can help explain this diagram to others, I think we all would be grateful, right? Because we don't want this. This is not obviously a good thing. It's karmic negative. And, the Bible says that we are here to be stewards of the earth. And currently we are not being good stewards. We are being really cruel, really unkind to life. So, so hopefully this helps you understand a little bit more. And if you already understand it, that's great. Please try to help. Please try to spread the word in whatever way you can. Take a leadership position. Do any tiny or large effort to help. All right. Good day.